and I could see the hole in her body the size of a baseball, and a thick, horrible paste. The tan paste was pouring out of her, with her screeching and wailing and screaming, and her intestines were coming out. No matter how many times people will say they understand, that they won't judge you or get angry at you for your quirks. They always do. You feel like a disappointment for existing. You are an issue now to be resolved by any means necessary. I could see bugs crawling out of my mother's side, and then the doctor started to climb in her. It was awful. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah. God damn it. I'm sorry. That's bad language. So I am in a small pool, and my ocean bride Lana is with me, and we're swimming, but there's a room connected to the indoor pool that my mom is in, having some type of surgery with that famous weight loss doctor on TV, and her and I are swimming our pre-marriage swim. I try and make sense of that. And we're swimming, and all of a sudden we hear this awful scream, and I look over to the room where the surgery is happening, and this awful fluid, it had splattered up against the window, and I could see inside. My mom, there was like a gaping foot-long hole in her side, and everything was gushing out like a river, and they were screaming and putting their hands in her, and I was
Oh my goodness. Oh boy, you are so tough. You broke it. Oh my goodness. Oh, sit.
it still feels like it happened. And how are you supposed to describe what you're seeing to someone if they ask you? That a doctor's crawling into a massive hole in your mom where the intestines and spiders and bugs and blood were pouring out of her. Oh, God. I was doing so much better before I got sick. I felt that I was interacting with people better and everything was getting a little clearer, and now it's like I've taken 30 steps back into the deep end of a pool of misery and I cannot climb out.
And sometimes you reach a place where you think maybe things are gonna be okay, and then you're blindsided by anything. But it is such a devastating blow when you're balancing on that precarious edge of maybe finding that path that can lead somewhere, or falling off on the other side to the depths of misery that you can never escape, because that misery is part of you. That misery I am so exhausted. I have tried to be open about the problems with my brain and the need for patience, not just for myself, but for everyone around you, everyone dealing with mental health. Patience is such an important factor to them feeling comfortable around people, for them feeling comfortable enough to be open and to talk about what's plaguing them. Because if you attack and attack and attack, they're never gonna feel like they can be open with you, because every time they do, their feelings and thoughts are invalidated and shot down, one after another. And then when things happen and people are, why the hell did you do that? Or why didn't you do this? And your only answer is, I didn't know that I could, or I didn't know that that was the wrong answer. That doesn't make sense, but it's like, what's the point of being upfront and clear and honest if everything you're upfront about is going to be invalidated within minutes, hours, days, weeks, or months? That's a question that's hard to answer. That's a really hard question to answer.
One of the questions was, what are some of the ways I deal with things when they get at their worst? And I do what I'm doing now, is I sit either in a vehicle or at my favorite place in the world, my hidden spot, that gorgeous meadow in the park that no one knows that it's there, because you have to go off the path to find it. Or I walk long distances, but my goal is to empty my mind. Empty it or distract it to the point where I cannot focus on the nightmares that are assaulting me during my conscious state. not asleep, completely awake. But things, I can feel blood splatter on me. I can feel the texture of their intestines in my hands. And I sit in silence and I try and stare at a focal point in front of me.
Whenever you're sad, carry around when your arthritis is bad.
Please ensure you arrive 15 minutes early to complete your patient paperwork. Thank you for choosing our office for all your dental needs.
I'll get your medicine when your tummy aches. Build you a fire if the furnace breaks. Oh, it could be so nice growing old with you.